Hi everyone, welcome to my living room. Today I'm finally doing a review, a long-awaited review on my Rae brushes. I don't do many reviews, but this was highly requested, so I thought it was about time. Ever since getting my Rae brushes, I've hardly used any of my other brushes, and I must have like at least 100 other brushes. So I think that's pretty impressive. They're definitely well worth the investment in my opinion, and I'm going to tell you why. So these are obviously my brushes here all set up, and they might look like normal brushes, but there's definitely a lot of aspects about these brushes that are very, very unique. If you weren't aware, these are brushes designed by the makeup artist Rae. She's Australia's most famous makeup artist and a very well-known makeup artist throughout the world. She's a celebrity makeup artist, an author, obviously owns her own brand, was the technical director at L'Oreal Paris for like 9 years. She's won lots of different awards for her makeup. Definitely the person that I most looked up to when I was learning about makeup and everything. Her books, I'm just gonna go grab her books because I've got them all. If you remember in actually some of my older videos on my Morello channel, I recreated one of these looks. I wonder if you remember. This one, the peach one, on page 42 of Quick Looks. But yeah, I love all her books, so when she came out with these brushes, I was very excited. I actually tried them first just earlier this year when I was on a shoot with Rae. She invited me to be a part of her new ebook that's coming out later this year, and I got to model for it, so that's when I tried it. She was doing the makeup on me with her brushes, and she told me all about the story behind them, and it just made me fall in love. They're really ingenious brushes. What makes them work is the fact that they are designed by a makeup artist. She knows what a makeup artist needs and what a makeup artist wants. Obviously she's put her name to them, so they're made of the highest quality materials, and they are all handmade brushes. Obviously a bit of an investment, but I think that if you're quite dedicated to your craft, they are really worth that investment. So basically I've got some of the brushes here that are magnetic, and I've also got some of the brushes that aren't magnetic, like some of these face brushes, and I'll go into them all in great detail. This is what the brushes look like when you set them on the Rae Plate. Each of the brushes has got a little magnetic bottom, so they stick to the Rae Plate, or anything that magnets would usually stick to. Like I know that the Rae Plate is made of steel. So although the magnet is on the end of the brush, they are counterbalanced, so they are the perfect balance. What's cool about them is that, for one, it's really easy to see all of the brushes when they're displayed, as opposed to them being in a canister, and when you look from the top in the canister trying to find the brush you want, a lot of the time it's really hard to find, and then when you go in to grab them with your fingers, it can damage the bristles. Also, when the brushes are sitting like that, if you've been using product on them, that's going to contaminate the other brushes with that product and with germs and things as well after you've been using them on people's faces. It's a really ingenious, actually, the whole magnetic thing. How could no one have thought of this before? But Rae actually has the worldwide patent, so she's the first and only person to have magnetic brushes. Also, just can we appreciate how pretty they are? They're all a really nice sleek black color. I love the gunmetal metallic ending of the magnet. The bristles are all super soft, and the quality just can't be compared to any of the brushes I own. Like I own NARS brushes, I own some MAC brushes, heaps of, I obviously own lots of Sigma and stuff, but none of them, easily none of them compare to my Rae brushes. I'm just going to go over each brush now. So this is the number 22 Pro Powder Brush. The size means that it's really quick and easy to spread product around your face. I use it for powder, so I use this to apply my Napoleon Purtis Camera Finish powder all over my face. The tapered point means that I can use it sort of right up around my eye, around the corners of my nose, my chin. Just makes it easy for all of that. The bristles are super, super soft, so when I'm applying my powder, I don't want to disturb the foundation underneath, or if I've put concealer on, I don't want it to be like moving that around. It's also really big, so that if you're wanting to apply bronzer to larger areas like maybe your chest or some shimmer down your leg or something, it's perfect with that. Blends as it goes, and it's my perfect powder brush. Next is this number 21 Mineral Buffer. So this is a really cute little stumpy sort of kabuki looking brush. So it's perfect for buffing in product or polishing product in. So if you've got powder foundation, or especially like the brush name says, mineral foundation, it's really good for that. Again, it's quite large, so it's really quick to work with, and because it's flat, it's got corners, which means that you can still buff like on the side of the nose, up under the eye and everything like that. The bristles, the bristles are much more densely packed than the other powder brush. So that's why it's really good for buffing and trying to get some coverage on. Next is the number 25 fan highlighter. So this is a fan brush. I never used to use fan brushes much, but they're actually a really good multi-purpose brush. Obviously I use it for highlighting mostly, so highlighting along the tops of the cheekbones. I also use it for blush. Products that you don't really want to apply too much of because they are really soft, flexible bristles. Obviously they cover a small surface area, and when you apply it, you sort of get it applied in a line. I like the curved top of this so that when I'm applying it, that's an airplane. When you're applying it, it sort of sweeps up along your cheekbone really nicely. Sometimes when I'm doing smoky eyes, I hold it under the eye, and then that catches all the fallout and I don't get it all on my cheek, which is quite nice. I end up using mine a lot, so I like my fan brush. Oh, and then this awesome foundation brush. I use this brush a lot. I love dual fiber brushes. These, this is called the number 23 liquid foundation brush. There's basically some quite densely packed bristles. They're the black bit. That's the black bit you can see. But up the top, there's also some white bristles poking through much more sparsely. So what that does, that holds the product, and then when you apply pressure with your hand, the densely packed black bristles actually buff it in. It works really well in applying a really nice layer of foundation, but also giving it a nice finish, like an airbrush look. It's nice and quick as well because it is a large brush. You're able to use this with powder as well. Like last night I used this to put my powder foundation on and it worked really well. Next is the number 24 foundation contour brush. So if you really like the cream contouring look that Kim Kardashian's famous for, this is great for that. It's a nice small size. And it's got that great angle. So you get the cream contour and then you can apply it, at the cheekbone, along the side of the forehead, maybe carefully along the side of the nose. I'd probably actually use a smaller brush for that, but the jawline, things like that. I use it for foundation sometimes, just plain old foundation, drawing it on like this. That actually takes a while because it is quite a small brush. I just think it makes a good traveling foundation brush. Like if you don't want to pack one of your other foundation brushes, then this is a nice one just because it's so compact. Now this is the number 2 mini kabuki brush, and I might as well show it with its daddy, the number 1 deluxe kabuki. So it's basically a large kabuki brush and then a smaller one. One is for applying blushes and bronzers and things to larger areas, or just powder to larger areas. And the other is just for when you want to be a bit more precise or the area is a bit smaller. So I use this one every single day for my bronzer below my cheekbone, because sometimes I like a bit more of a, like rather than a contoured look, I just want to spread it out and blend it up, my forehead and things like that. And then this one is sometimes I use to blend out my more intense contour. Also, I think the small one is good because you can use it on the eye. The larger one though is one of my holy grails because I use it all the time. But this one definitely comes in handy for me when I'm doing different makeup looks. And this one, I didn't think I would use this one very much, but my gosh, I use it all the time. It's the number 6 Deluxe Pro Blender. So this is like a big fat eye brush, but obviously because it is so big, you can use it on other areas of the face. So I use this sometimes, dip it in an eyeshadow, wipe it across my eyelid, and it's literally covered my entire eyelid in one go. I don't have to like pat with a tiny brush all over my eye. It's really soft, so you can use it for blending, and if you can see that, it's quite pointy at the end, so you can even place product in small areas like the socket. I also use it to apply powder under my eye to set my concealer. You could use it to add a contour, you could use it for blush. I also use it for highlighter up my cheekbones. This is a really good brush. So the number 6 Deluxe Pro Blender, I think, would be an excellent addition to anyone's collection. Okay, and this one is the 18 Brow Brush. So this is just good for before you do your brows. You can just quickly brush them up before you maybe shade them in or draw them in with a pencil. What is good about it though is it's a single row of bristles rather than a thick row. So that means that when you're doing your eyebrows, it doesn't, disturb your foundation. If you've already got foundation on, you can brush on just the eyebrows, even if someone's got really thin eyebrows. And then this one, it's a little bit dirty because I find it hard to get the mascara out, but this is the number 17 Mascara Applicator. This is really good, again, if you're a makeup artist. You can just put some mascara on the bristles, and because it's a single row of metal bristles, you can actually get this right into the base of the lashes, like right in. You definitely can't do this with a normal mascara wand. I don't do this on an everyday basis though, because usually I'm just like too lazy to do that. I just use it straight from the tube. But if you're a makeup artist, it's really, really handy. Now number 8.5 is the Cream Shadow Shader. This is another brush that I use every single day. You can use this to apply cream eyeshadow products and blend out cream eyeshadow products, also powder if you wanted to blend with it. But I mostly use it for applying my concealer. So I just apply some concealer under my eye or on my blemish, and then I just use this to blend it out every single day. That's what I use it for. And this one is the 20 concealer brush. I use this one to actually apply the concealer before I blend it out or dab it over my blemishes. So these sorts of brushes are made with non-absorbent bristles, so when you're using it with cream products, it doesn't absorb it. It can just go straight to your skin and it doesn't waste product. So that means it's good for also applying cream eyeshadows to the lid if you wanted to do that. Or even if you're doing one of those wet look eyes, this is the kind of brush I would use to like dab on the gel or whatever it is I'm using to make that wet look. But usually I just use it for concealer, things like that. Also obviously could be used as a lip brush as well. Now on to my eye brushes, and I love all my eye brushes. I love her range of blending brushes. We'll get into that. But yeah, this is them, and I guess we'll go through them now. Oh, there's not just eye brushes, I've got a lip brush on there as well. So this number 7 Deluxe Point Shader Brush is the perfect eye brush. Everyone should have this brush. If you can see, it's actually got quite a dramatic point. So that means it is perfect for blending and applying product at the same time. What I mean is that when I dip the brush into the product, it goes right onto the tip of the brush. And then when I go to my face and apply a bit more pressure, the point applies the product, but then the bristles around the edge diffuse it out and blend it out as you go. So the point means you can get into small areas like my crease or even under the eye, and the bristles that come out the side, as I said, blend it out for you. You don't usually find brushes with like a really dramatic point like that. Do you know what I mean? This is the number 7.5 Deluxe Round Shader. So similar to that one, but with a dome sort of top. So this one's really good for blending or applying lots of product. It doesn't have a pointy end, so for larger looks. It's really, really soft, but not too like bendy, so it's really easy to control where the product goes with this. Yeah, it's a really good eye brush. And then I love this brush. I've got a smaller version as well. This is actually similar to the number 6 Deluxe Pro Blender, the large one. If you can see, they all look quite similar. That one's a bit more tapered than these ones. These are just fairly basic eye brushes. I've got the number 10 Deluxe Oval Shadow Brush and then the number 11 Medium Oval Shadow Brush. And the large one, obviously, for applying shadow to larger areas. It's a bit tapered, so you can still apply product through the socket if you want. And with a bit more pressure, you can blend that out. It's good for patting product over large areas. And same with the smaller one, but on just a smaller scale. And then these are some smaller blending brushes. I've got the number 8 Medium Point Shader. And then the number 9 Detail. Oh, look at that. Amazing. That's the number 9 Detail Point Shader. So there's a small one and a larger one. Well, I'd say this is about a medium one. So these are also really good basic blending brushes. I use the small one to actually apply product through the socket a lot of the time. Like sometimes if I'm carving out the outer C. My God, so many airplanes. So these are both good blending brushes, but as I said, also really good for actually applying product. And because they're quite pointy at the tips, it's good for applying product in smaller areas and then going back with the exact same brush to blend it out. Another staple eye brush is the number 12 Lash Line Smudger. I just use this one mostly for applying product in smaller areas like patting eyeshadow in the inner corner. Also smudge product out underneath the eyelid, into the lash line, or sometimes I use it with my eyeliner if I've got eyeliner there, and then I smudge it out with this. It's a really nice little brush, and that's the number 12 Lash Line Smudger. The small size just means that it becomes really useful for a lot of those things. Best angle brush ever. This is the brow definer, but I use it for much more than just my brows. I use it with my gel brow, like Aqua Brow from Makeup Forever. Really nice angle, very sharp, so you get a really good, effective line from this. I also use it to do winged eyeliner sometimes. Like I'll do a line of eyeliner with a smudgy eyeliner like a kohl, and then I'll use this to go over it and create a wing. Ooh, we're getting to the end. This is the number 14 Precision Eyeliner. Really fine, pointed eyeliner brush. Like, I've never seen such a precise, brush before. The bristles are just the perfect amount of flexibility so it doesn't get away from you. You can still really control it. I also have, this is the same thing actually, exactly the same as that last brush, but it's bent, and it's called the number 15 Precision Bent Liner. So that means that it's quite easy to get to the inner corner of the eye and get product really nice and precisely through the inner part of the eye, without having to get your hands all up over your makeup and ruin and smudge your makeup. So it's just another option to that brush, I would say. You do kind of have to get used to the bent bit, but once you do, it actually comes in really handy. Now this brush here, believe it or not, is Rae's 19 lip brush, and it's a strange lip brush. Usually lip brushes are like tapered, but this one's actually a long rectangle. So that means, like I use an angle brush for sometimes, this one's perfect. It's got a square tip, so you can use it to get a really crisp cupid's bow, and then the perfect line around the rim of your lips. And then it's also got a large flat face, so it's really quick at then filling in your lips. And then this is a really good eyeliner brush. I think I probably use this one more than the smaller eyeliner brushes. This is called the number 13 Deluxe eyeliner, and it's a bit of a thicker, well, it's actually quite a lot thicker. I like to do really nice thick eyeliners, and this one's really good. It just makes the whole process quite a bit quicker, and it's got a very tapered point, and it's a very precise point, not a hair out of place on this. So it's really, really easy to do your wing. So that's all my magnetic brushes, and I do also have 4 of her other face brushes. This one is an honorable mention. I actually think that everyone should have this brush. It's just an amazing, unique brush. It's a number 26 Radiance brush. So this is an excellent face brush. It's a very unique handle. I mean, as you can see, you sort of grip it with your whole hand. You have so much control over it. It's got a massive face, massive flat face. The bristles are just, oh, like a baby's butt. I just can't even explain how soft these are. So this is a foundation brush, and it's what I use to buff my foundation. You can like use it at different angles to go around different areas, if you know what I'm saying, on the lid. I can even use it to blend out my cream concealer that I've got there. But yeah, obviously it's really good for applying product on the body, so body foundation. It's really quick. And then number 3, the Ultimate Cheekbone Brush. So this is really good for carving out below the cheekbone. So with your bronzer or your contouring powder, you can just sort of flick it beneath there and it's literally done. It's really nice and soft and a little bit tapered, so it's really good to blend. But again, quite multi-purpose, and I've actually used this for all over face powder before. I've used it for blush before, because you can sort of twist at different angles and use, like, you know, the small end, or you can use the stumpy end if you're wanting a bit more tension. Like obviously the bristles are more flexible up here because they're longer than the ones that are down here. So you can really utilize that to your advantage, and really nice brush for all different powder techniques. And then something really similar, this is the Flawless Shader number 5. So it's got that crescent shape. It's a really good highlighter brush, really good for applying product to the body, good for flicking away product beneath the eyes if you've got some fallout there. I like it for that purpose. Again, you could use it under the cheekbones if you wanted, on the cheeks for blush, good for sculpting out bits of the face, just like the other one, just like the angled one. So then this last one is the Square Kabuki. So this is the sort of thing you can use to blend out the edges of things on your eye, or maybe the edge of your contour. I mostly end up using it for blush or contouring. It's nice and small, so I guess it's good for the same sort of thing as this, but on a smaller scale. I actually find this comes in quite useful, and again, it makes it a really nice travel brush because you can use it for all of those things, but it takes up such a small amount of space. That's actually all the brushes. I've gone through all of them. Hopefully I gave a really nice detailed review at what I use them for. So you can purchase these brushes on Rae's website, www.raemorris.com. You can purchase them single, or you can buy them in certain packs. Obviously you can buy the whole range. That's a really big investment, but honestly I think that if you're a professional makeup artist, or if you're just a massive enthusiast, and that's the kind of thing you're happy to spend that money on, I really do recommend it, because I am so in love with my Rae Morris brushes. But you can also buy them separately, and also she has like certain little sets. Like she'll have a face set where she incorporates some of her favorite face brushes, and she's got a starter kit, so she's got her favorite starter brushes, you know, eye sets and things like that, and they're good ways to sort of get a few different brushes at a better price. Now if you go on the website, you'll notice that the brushes seem really quite expensive, and I just think these are so worth it because they're all handmade, Unlike brands like MAC, which are actually really comparable in price to Rae Morris, but definitely not in quality. MAC is made in a factory and Rae Morris's brushes are made by hand. So I do actually think these are in quality comparable to Japanese brushes like Hakuhodo brushes, which are literally hundreds of dollars for one brush. And the designs are just so unique. I mean, obviously you can get like exact dupes for MAC brushes from Sigma, but these are really unique brushes. Obviously, no one else in the world has magnetic brushes. So do you know what, I do really think it's worth it. Obviously not everyone's going to be able to afford it though, so maybe it's the kind of thing you could ask for a brush for your birthday or something like that. So I guess that really concludes my review. I don't do many of these reviews, but if there is any other products that you want me to do a review of, let me know. This is probably going to be a mega long video. I've been sitting here for like an hour filming. I hope it's not too long, sorry about that, but I hope it's answered some of your questions and shown you a bit more information about the range. And I hope that you liked my video. And of course, if you're looking for more information on the brushes, there's heaps online at raemorris.com. Yeah, thank you so much everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial or review or haul video. I think I'm doing a haul video. So I'll see you on Thursday or Friday for that. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.